Horses are generally considered some of the most powerful animals in the world, and humans have relied on their strength for thousands of years. However, of these powerful beings, there are some that have been bred specifically to be able to pull large objects and equipment, earning them a place among the rank of most powerful horses. These horses are referred to as draft horses. So if you find out that all the horses on this list are draft horses, you know the reason. Now, let's get into our list. 1. Belgian Draft Horse. It is widely accepted that the Belgian Draft Horse is the most powerful horse breed on Earth, currently. Interestingly, even though the Belgian weighs an impressive 2,000 pounds, it is not the heaviest breed that you will find on this list. But it doesn't need to in order to be as powerful as it is. Its highly muscular frame means that it can pull more weight than any other breed of horse. It is one of the tallest though, standing at 19 hands tall. As you must have guessed, the Belgian Draft was first bred in Belgium, specifically in the Brabant region. It was initially bred to be used in war, but as that was phased out, it was transitioned into a farm animal, used for plowing the fields and transporting heavy loads. In spite of their enormous strength, Belgians are known to be mild-tempered and always up for some work. They are also one of the few draft horses that don't seem to be on the edge of extinction. 2. Percheron. Percherons are powerful draft horses that were first bred in the Normandy region of France, which suggests that they were initially war horses. They are now generally used for agricultural work, and they work quite well because they pack a lot of power in their bodies. Typically weighing between 1,800 and 2,600 pounds, the Percheron is one of the heaviest horses in the world, and that weight definitely comes in handy on the field. The Percheron is also mild-mannered and has a good work ethic, making it one of the most commonly used workhorses across the world. However, the Percheron differs from many other powerful horses because it is also used as a riding horse. Draft horses are typically bred for strength, not speed, which is why they are not the best for riding. But the Percheron somehow manages to combine both qualities, even adding long-distance stamina to the mix. 3. Clydesdale. The use of Clydesdales in farming was originally the idea of Scottish farmers and coal haulers. They saw the heavy muscles in these horses, the powerful arched back, and wide muzzle, and decided that they would be great for pulling heavy equipment and hauling coal. Clydesdales typically weigh between 1,700 and 2,200 pounds and can be as tall as 19 hands. So, there is a lot of power in their bodies. However, it wouldn't be surprising if the one feature that really convinced the Scottish farmers and coal haulers of the usefulness of the Clydesdale were the horse's lower legs. The Clydesdale's lower legs are covered in thick feathers, making it possible for the horse to stay warm and work in sub-zero and snowy conditions. That said, while Clydesdales are still one of the most powerful horses in the world, they are not as powerful as they used to be. They still have the feathered lower legs, though. 4. Shire. Shires are some of the heaviest horses on the planet, weighing up to 2,400 pounds. They are also some of the tallest, with a height that varies between 16 and 18 hands. They have long been used for agriculture and cart-pulling competitions, but their weight and height also meant that they were the perfect warhorses. Something that is quite interesting is that while Belgian Drafts are considered the most powerful horse breed, it's a Shire that holds the record for the most weight ever pulled by a horse, pulling 58,000 pounds. And this record has stood since 1924, nearly 100 years. The Shire, which is native to England, is also one of the oldest draft breeds. Mentions of this breed first came up in the 16th century, and it became an official breed in the 18th century. So old. Shires are still being used as farm horses, though, and are largely still as strong as they used to be. 5. Suffolk Punch. The Suffolk Punch is another horse breed that is native to England and, while it is also one of the oldest horse breeds, it is not as old as the Shire. First mentions of the Suffolk Punch date back to the 19th century. Anyway, the Suffolk has short muscular legs and strong bodies, and they also have quite the stamina. So, they were perfect for plowing in the tough clay of the English countryside. They were not only used in farming though, they were also used for pulling carts and transportation. Aside from just being super strong, the Suffolk Punch has been the farmhouse of choice for many years because it matures quickly, lives relatively long, and doesn't eat as much as many other breeds. So, they are quite economical, even though they can pull as much weight as many other powerful horses. It's really a no-brainer if you think about it. 6. Ardennes. The Ardennes is the shortest horse on this list, but it is by no means the least powerful or even the smallest. They typically only grow to be 16 hands tall, but they weigh between 1,500 and 2,200 pounds. So, they might have a smaller surface area than their contemporaries, but they pack a lot of power in what they have. They also have feathered legs, making them perfect for working in really cold conditions. The Ardennes is one of the oldest draft horses in the world, dating as far back as ancient Rome. Apparently, this was the breed that Napoleon used in his invasion of Russia, and it was also widely used in the French and Belgian Ardennes regions for war reasons. Understandably, it is now being used for farming, and its build makes it perfect for particularly rough terrains. 7. Dutch Draft. The Dutch Draft is known for its mild and gentle temperament, in spite of its strength. It isn't the largest or tallest breed on this list by any chance, but it still manages to hold its own. The Dutch Draft is used for pulling heavy stuff on farms, and was actually originally bred for this purpose. It first appeared in post-World War I Holland, and has been showing its prowess as a farmhouse ever since. Their lower legs are heavily feathered, which is why they are used in a variety of farming environments, including the really cold and snowy. However, their feathered legs are apparently good for more than just protection against cold. The feathers also play an aesthetic role, making the Dutch Draft a really popular horse among recreational riders and show riders. Basically, these horses are too beautiful to just be used for their strength. 8. American Cream Draft. As the name suggests, the American Cream Draft is native to the United States, specifically the state of Iowa. But what might not be immediately obvious is that it is the only draft horse currently in existence that is a U.S. native. Others have been phased out of existence. They typically weigh between 1,600 and 2,000 pounds, and only grow as tall as 16.3 hands, making them some of the smallest draft horses, but still quite powerful. The American Cream was bred for farm work, especially the kind that happens in the hard soil of Midwestern USA. They were also used for pulling carts and carriages, and their resilience made it possible for them to be used regardless of the season. The American Cream has managed to retain most of the qualities that made it powerful when it was first bred, which is why it is still one of the most commonly used horse breeds for farm work, trail riding, and show jumping. 9. Friesian. Coming in at between 1,200 to 1,400 pounds and 14 to 17 hands, the Friesian is the smallest draft horse out there. It also has the shortest history of being used for farm work. Sure, it was used to pull heavy equipment on farms, but as soon as farm machinery started to evolve, Friesians were ditched as farm horses and made to serve as carriage pullers instead. They are still very much used for carriage pulling and recreational purposes in their native Netherlands. In fact, about 70% of the horses used for recreational purposes in the Netherlands are Friesians. Hopefully, nothing that has been said about this breed so far makes you think that they are not powerful. They have to be powerful to have even been considered for farming in the first place. It just so happens that their small frame means that there are other slightly better options. But leisure drivers who like a lot of power in their horses tend to appreciate the Friesian. 10. South German Cold Blood. The South German Cold Blood is another relatively small draft horse, as they typically weigh between 1,000 and 1,500 pounds and can only be as tall as 17 hands. And I say, relatively, because it is only small in comparison to most other draft horses. But it is still one of the most powerful horse breeds in the world, and tops that with lots of stamina and a willingness to work. So, they were, and still are, sometimes used for farm work, especially in their native South Germany. However, South Germans were, and still are, mostly used as carriage horses and show animals. That might have something to do with the fact that they are quite beautiful and unique looking, being one of the few horse breeds with leopard spotting. They are also majestic, some of them spotting manes, with a different color from their bodies. Is there any breed that you think should have made it to this list but didn't? Let's hear what you think in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this one.